Chika, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning today.
Indeed. Today. Shall we begin with power? What do you make
of power? The power system, the power value chain in Nigeria is very interesting.
It is.
Sometimes, I would love to see. I would love to be there in a room one day where you line up the GENCOs,
yes,
power generating companies,
yeah,
the MBET, Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading Company,
yeah,
the gas supply companies, transmission company, and the discos.
As a packed room.
Yeah, on the room.
Yeah.
And that room will just be a cacophony of noises, and it's like it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Yes.
It's your fault. It's because of you. I'm sure that's what's going to happen in that room.
Yeah.
And that's what the charade is what to see every time when power situations are discussed in Nigeria. Okay, so the NEC, Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission, has gone and said from July 1 we're going to have a minimum of 5,000 megawatts of power.
Yes.
So everybody in the value chain must, sign on.
Yeah.
So but see, the GENCOs are saying this is not doable. They're not doable because of one, historical debts. They claim that they're being owed about 1.6 trillion in legacy debt. They're also saying that because of that, they're not able to repair their equipment. They're also saying because of that, they're not able to pay for gas supply, and so gas companies are not going to. So where do we start?
Yeah.
So you find then they went ahead to say, okay, by the way, if we supply this power, the transmission company of Nigeria cannot even carry it. Look at the number of we had this year alone. I had more than 200 collapses of the grid, and then the discos have their own. So, what does the power situation in Nigeria? What does the power economy? What does it require? It requires really going back to the fundamentals, and trying to sort out things. What's happening now is symptomatic of this thing. So to tell about that you're a leaking house, and so you're just patching here, you're leaking from another place. The water is so you have about 200 buckets in your bedroom, shifting the buckets, because everybody's just blaming everybody, and so the holistic thing therefore should be go back to the foundation, and then what have we gotten wrong, and then with this big brother up there trying to rationally, professionally look at all the issues and try to solve them. And that's basically what it is. So I would like the power initiatives of 500 megawatts, but at the end of the day, everybody's saying that they cannot comply, starting from those who generate the power. And so it's supposed to have been signed on June 28th. Let's see what would have happened. Now the transmission company of Nigeria, you had the Minister of Finance talk about the towers that because of the terrorists.
Yes. So what do you make of that?
Nigeria is a very interesting country because 1 minute before then, a minister will come and say that Nigeria is under the control of every territory. Yeah,
we had the General Lucky Rabo on the air yesterday.
The territory. Meanwhile, there's no territory under the control of any terrorists. Nigerians are free to move around anywhere they want to move around. Now, this guy, Minister of Power, comes to say that a lot of their stations cannot be reached.
Exactly.
Because they're under they're under the control of the terrorists. So the power stations there, the transmission towers have all been vandalized because they're Nigerian owned. And this will don't recognize Nigeria.
Right.
So it's a massive problem for us. Does this problem exist? Of course it exists. Do they vandalize the equipment? Of course they vandalize the equipment. Now, I think part of the problem also we had in Nigeria is this one unit structure of the power generation and power transmission system of Nigeria. That every power that you generate, you point to the national pool, and so the whole transmission network is linked.
Right.
I think, I guess the president hinted it when he had a Bloomberg interview that the constitutional amendment in place, he has also put in place that states and other subnationals can actually be created and then start generating their own power and distributing their own power. That's the kind of solution we require, so that what happens in one part of the next country does not suddenly translate to no light in other parts of the country. But you see, our life now is about insecurity.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. So this is not surprising. Everywhere. Can people harvest food and move to the south or whatever? They can't. Can people go to the farm to go and plant? They cannot.
Can you ride a train?
Can you ride a train? You cannot ride a train. Can you go by the road? You cannot even go by the road. When people are going, even somebody said that, advise Yukobas to tell their parents prepare for ransom as they're moving around.
Wow.
A governor had just said, go and get guns.
Zamfara State.
So, look at that kind of country we have become. But we're hoping that as we move towards 2023, the issues in the country are addressed and security should actually be number one thing to deal with.
Yeah.
Because if you get security right, economy will also.
Exactly.
Yeah, the economy issues will be only about 30% remaining because the lack of investments are hurting us. Anybody in any investment room, any abroad now, the first one to talk about is Nigeria.
Right.
Is security. So we need to get security right. So all these people who are pushing to rule us from 2023, we need to understand what they want to do specifically on how to address the security challenges.
Thanks, Chika. NNPC.
NNPC.
Yeah. Makeover.
NNPC Limited.
Yes.
I mean, I always celebrate the, I'm an eternal optimist. So you always celebrate the little successes. It's like your child, that starts crawling, starts standing, from standing starts taking initial steps and falling.
Yes.
Before it starts, so let's continue to stagger, so maybe we'll get there. So when you put the Aramcos beside NNPC, you'll find that the journey is too long. But you see, NNPC Limited, still another apron strings of the political power. I just need to go back and look at where is Nigerian National Shipping Line Limited? Where is Nigerian Airways Limited? And I can list all of them. And so NNPC moving towards NNPC Limited was still the one phone call away from the authorities that will be.
Right.
And everybody that's there, what has changed? Is it makeover? Is the word you use?
Right. Good question.
I think the model that we're looking for, I keep saying, I've said it in this program several times, this is the NLNG model.
Yeah.
Where we have is a private sector-led company. Nigeria government has investment in it.
Yes.
And then if we look at the kind of dividends they've been declaring. At the commencement of this administration, the first tenure, would have been trouble, apart from the remember LNG dividends, were the things that helped us. If you run these corporations very well, look at the results of Aramco.
Billions of dollars.
So, hurrah! July 1, NNPC Limited. We celebrate that. It's a little journey. A child that was crawling can now, stand. And so, but the issue at the end of the day is still on the same board of directors appointed by political board of directors appointed by government. Everything is still political. So that apron string has to be cut. And that's the journey that we're looking for. That journey that the NNPC MD has said that may take happen in 3 years' time, which is the initial public offering.
Yeah.
Where the shares of the company now will be sold to Nigerians and owned by Nigerians. And the management of the company will be appointed by private sector.
Yeah.
There'll be targets, there'll be everything. There'll be transparent audit, we understand their revenues, we understand their costs. Everything is,
I mean, you can break it down on the wall.
Yeah, I can break it down on the wall and analyze everything.
Analyze it,
because analyzing NNPC financials, man, is like entering into this,
a maze.
A maze. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. It's a maze. 1 week they're making losses, the next week they're making profit. You don't understand everything. Right. But let's celebrate that. It's a journey. We're hoping that in 3 years' time, according to this thing, the journey to IPO will start. Will happen. Because to get even to an initial public offering, you must display some things.
Right.
Consistent, transparent audited accounts. A consistent corporate governance structures, ethical structures of doing your business, an input and output ratio where you can track your revenues and expenditures, the way you award contracts, monitoring systems.
You're already breaking it down.
Yeah, monitoring systems, flexibility, and all those.
Subsidies. That ends, right? That will be over.
The human capital framework also based on competence and the best man win.
Yeah.
Even if you're still doing the federal character thing, you can still do that.
Right.
Number, who tells NLNG who to employ?
Aha.
Nobody tells them.
Right, nobody.
Trust me, you know, remember, I said in the program that the powers that be who want to have tried so many things to amend the LNG Act so they can go there and try and put their brothers and sisters as the human resource manager and director of finance.
Yeah.
You know, but that's that. But so we're happy that Nigerian NNPC Limited is going on this journey, but this is just the beginning. You know, let's see more transparency. Let's understand how their contracts are. You know, let's see the revenues. You know, and ultimately also the full implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act. Removal of subsidy transparently. You know, so that things are done very well. So,
a clap for them.
Yeah, clap for Nigeria.
And I'm looking forward to it because we'll have a year to break down those results whenever they're listed. All right, business analyst Chika Mbon. Chika, as always, thank you so much for joining us.